Just clearly the opposition wants to put up another couple of amendments and go through the same procedure that we've just, charade that we've just been through. I just, in speaking to the Honourable Trevor Mallard's acknowledged that he is doing this to filibuster, which he's acknowledged is a tool that the opposition has at their disposal. But I'd bring it to your attention, sir, that only this can be used within the rules of the House and within the orders of the House. If the amendments that the member is seeking to have debated before we get into the committee stage of the House are in fact already to be debated and have agreed to be with order, then I think the process of going through the charade that we've just done in the last 10 minutes is a complete waste of the House's time, and I think you should rule these out of order.
Well, I don't need any assistance. Firstly, I can't prejudge what may not happen, and can I assure all members that I will assiduously enforce the rules of this House as laid down by both Speaker's ruling and standing orders.
Point of order, Mr. Speaker.
Point of order, Honourable Trevor Mallard.
Mr. Speaker, I move that it be an instruction to the Committee on the Rugby World Cup 2011 Empowering Bill that it have the power to consider, and if it thinks fit, adopt the TypeScript amendments to amend subpart 3 by adding the new subclause 72(1)(a)(3) set out in the name of Ian Lees-Galloway. Mr. Speaker.
No, order. Now, I've indicated to the member that I will bring back a ruling on these matters. And while the member did raise at an earlier time, it is not for the Speaker to give an instruction or to presume what the committee as a whole may or may not do with amendments before the House. But there is also, and I just did comment earlier, that there is a well laid out set of rules that we abide by both in Speaker's rulings and in standing orders. And it is those same rulings that the Chair of the House will judge any amendment on at the time. And so therefore I'm not prepared to accept the motion which the member is about to give. So I will... Point of order, Honourable Trevor Mallard.
Mr. Speaker, I would like... I'm in a very difficult position because we now have one Speaker ruling differently from the Speaker, the senior Speaker, who ruled on the very same issue about 20 minutes ago, Mr. Speaker. And I feel very, very... And again, I say this with, I think, Mr. Roy, you know that I have considerable respect for you and for your integrity, and certainly it is, there's no doubt that you as Speaker, because you're sitting in the chair as Speaker, have the ability to make rulings, the ability to make rulings as Mr. Speaker has, and there's I'll sort of... so I'm not debating your ability to do it. The question I'm asking, sir, goes to whether whether precedent applies in this House and whether precedent set by a Speaker on consideration not 20 minutes ago...
Let me truncate this somewhat. The member is out of order because parliamentary practice in New Zealand, David McGee, page 369, a member may move only one instruction in relation to the same bill. Therefore, I declare the House in committee for the Rugby World Cup... Point of order, Mr. Speaker. A point of order, Ian Lees-Galloway.
Mr. Speaker, I move that an instruction be given to the Committee on the Rugby World Cup 2011 Empowering Bill, that it have the power to consider and, if it thinks fit, adopt the TypeScript amendment to amend subpart 3 by adding new subclause 72(1)(a)(3) to set out in my name.
I've said that I will bring a ruling to the House. I realise that members are wanting to progress this matter now, but the case really has to be made of an extension and also or a change in the restriction to a supplementary order, and the rules are quite clear. Now, whilst the member earlier said it is not for the Speaker to give an instruction to the Chair, the rules are quite clear about whether or not there is an extension or a limitation or an extension, and I cannot see where that occurs. So I've said that I will bring a ruling back to the House on this matter.
Point of order, Mr. Speaker.
A point of order, Honourable Chair.
Mr. Speaker, I think it's in a way the ruling that you've just given would have been fair for the previous amendment. There was a debate around whether there was an extension or not. So there is no doubt in this case. No, it's a question of whether it's in scope or not. My view is this one also is probably in scope, but there is no doubt whatsoever that this SOP extends the bill into an area which is not otherwise considered, because it goes to details of transportation options available nearby the premises. Now, my view, sir, is firmly it is in scope, but also, notwithstanding the fact it is within scope, the broad scope of the bill, it is an extension from the point which it currently sits. And sir, I'm not. I hope on this, sir, that you will continue to seek advice, because it is my firm opinion. It is my firm opinion that there is an extension involved in this. It goes into an area which, while within the broad parameters of the bill, is something which is not currently touched. It is something which goes beyond what is in the Sale of Liquor Act, because requirements on transportation are not part of the Sale of Liquor Act. But in this one, having these transportation detail. Well, no, I'm making very serious comment to you, sir, and that is that I can accept, that as chairman you would automatically rule in the previous supplementary order paper, but I think that it is fair to say that within this one there is at least a modicum of doubt around the area, and again. I repeat the comment that I made before. It can't be for the Speaker to rule on the role of the Chair unless by way of appeal, because what that does is prejudices the right of the opposition to then take things to the Speaker later.
Chris Tremaine.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. There is no modicum of doubt in this respect, Mr. Speaker. This amendment is part of the scope of the bill. It is within Part 5 and can be debated there. And this is totally superfluous and trifling with the House's time, and I ask that you rule against these amendments.
I think the member makes a point which I pick up on. How can the Speaker possibly make a ruling when he hasn't been presented with and given the opportunity to give consideration to supplementary order papers in the same way that a chair does when they're tabled in front of them? And it is, I guess, for that reason that since 1856 we've had a process by which the House and committee makes these rulings. And I understand that the members have raised a serious point. I've given an assurance that these matters will be considered and there will be a finding taken back. And it is for that reason that I'm ruling that I'm not prepared to accept the debates about the instruction in which the manner of the members have raised. I therefore declare the House a point of order, the Honourable Trevor Mallow.
Mr. Speaker, now this gets to something which I think is very serious, and that is what happens when there is doubt in the Speaker's mind as to his role. And you've said that
let me answer that. Let me answer that quite clearly, because you see, the option, if the House is in any way displeased or has a question, it has the right to recall the Speaker.
No, we don't now. We don't now.
Just listen. Don't interrupt me when I'm giving a ruling on a point of order. When the House is in committee, if members who put a supplementary order paper on the table wish that, or feel that there has been an inappropriate ruling given by the Chair, the right for the House and the whole committee is then to call the Speaker back. and they can do that. Now, I've given an assurance that there will be